You do realize you can't be any more Pennsylvania than, hey, let's meet at Sheets.
But Sheets has Willy Wallabies. And they have turkey bikes.
Yeah. All right, we've moved away from the gas pumps. You're putting all your stuff into my new truck.
Yes.
Got the shelving set up in there. Transferred over from the old truck. Got a tonneau covered. I got some of my stuff underneath there. Put the racks from the old F-150 on this one, and we're gonna put his Osprey up here with mine. I should have the width. The reason is that we're gonna do, what are we doing?
A B to A trip today?
A B to A trip. So usually with a float trip you go from A to B. We're actually starting at the downstream point and moving upstream. I do this all the time where I put in somewhere and I motor up. I fish better when I'm moving upstream.
That's how you're supposed to fish it.
Yeah, you come up behind them. You know, if you're sneaking up behind fish, they eat better. I am more successful. I think most people that do rivers all the time understand that you're more successful coming up from behind them. So we're doing that.
I like to sneak up on them from behind too, you know?
You know, it just works. And what doesn't work for what we usually do is to motor up and then right at the last part of the best part of the day to fish, other than the morning bite. The evening bite, you're running downstream and missing that really good action. So we'll finish doing this, and I think, have you looked at the gauge?
Yeah, it's sharp rise.
Which is perfect.
Yeah.
It couldn't be better.
Yeah, it's something.
All right, let's load them up and get on the water.
All right.
All right, we're here at the put-in. It's flooding. It's coming up. I like it. So let's see. Well, Trey's old racks worked pretty good on there. Getting both boats in there. We're leaving your vehicle here.
Yes, we are.
And we're gonna run downstream.
Can I talk to something real quick? Can I just say something?
Yeah, say it.
When you find places that will allow you to use their property, don't leave it trashed up. We just pulled 2 bags of garbage out of a drop box where you ask for permission.
Yep.
Don't do that stupid shit.
No, but you know what's funny is you do look around. There are people that have picked this up.
Right.
There are people that get it, and you know this is one of those places where they let you do it. And they're putting the rules right there. Some jerk filled that with trash can. That's where you're supposed to put your, your name, vehicle description. No money. They're not asking for money. They're asking you to not trash the place. And some people trashed the place where you're supposed to put your name and vehicle description and phone number. Anyhow. we're gonna run up to here. We got a lot of miles to cover. I think initially I had planned on doing 12.6. Lower flow, yeah, we can handle that. I'm a little nervous with, I mean, I love this. I love that it's coming up. I think we're gonna throw the jackhammer a whole lot. Maybe some topwater stuff that's noisy. Yeah, I've been thinking about this for a long time, and I've recruited Jake because, you know, you got 2 batteries, right?
Yes.
I got 2 batteries. We're probably going to use them all.
Yeah.
We're going to be on a treadmill. You know what it's like? It's going to be like you go to the airport, you get to those people movers, and you run at it the wrong way.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we're doing.
I dig it.
But we're gonna catch some fish.
Oh,
You ready?
we are.
Hey, look at that. You got room for all your stuff.
This is this is absolutely the most organized Jeff has ever been, and I'm not sure if any of the viewers understand how.
I'm liking it.
Oh.
I'm liking it. I mean, I already had this in the old truck, but
Yeah,
I didn't have this tonneau cover, and
I don't think they understand the level of anxiety that I typically have whenever I fish with you.
yeah, calm down. There. Got the deck drawers in there, and then I got all my. Well, there's that beautiful orange propeller. Yeah. All right. Let's drive. Okay. Here we go. Hey, Jake. You just won like what, $3,000 in a tournament over the weekend? You want to win something else?
What's that?
All right. So whoever catches more inches in the top 5 today buys the other guy dinner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So all you gotta do is lose to me. You didn't lose to anybody over the weekend. You think you can lose to me today?
I'm not gonna lose to you today. I don't ever.
Cool. Then you can buy me dinner,
I don't ever go into a battle thinking that I'm gonna lose.
dude.
That's the quickest way to lose.
Yeah, and I'm always looking for the win-win situation. So this is it.
Yes, sir.
Prepare to buy me dinner.
I can't wait to rock a fish on this Hondo right here.
Yeah, the Hondos are pretty friggin' amazing. I'm it's the best bait caster I've ever thrown in terms of casting distance, smoothness. I love that it has audible drag as I drag my motor. Let's go catch some fish, bud. I'm going that away. So we get there, I get to the sheets before I even started filming, and Jake's like, I got something for you. And like, what's that? I was like, I hate these things. He apparently doesn't like the Hellraisers. I like them. I think they catch fish that just slash at other things that, there's a, I don't know, when they're just testing and not eating, I think they're a good bait. Jake's over there bragging. He's already on the board, and I'm over here hog tying the Hellraiser. I like the Hellraiser, but this part of it I don't like. I'm gonna throw it a little bit longer to hopefully develop some sort of, I think it makes a good motion on the surface, but you got to cast it just right, or else it, like I say, it cartwheels. He's caught another one. It's also catching grass. Might have to switch to jackhammer sooner. And if I do, I'm gonna alternate between the big white one and I'm gonna do a black one, because this is muddy water. I think a black half-ounce jackhammer is probably going to be the deal. But as it goes through the air, if it cartwheels any, it catches on its hook, and then you can see what it does there. I give it a little bit more time, and then I'll yeah, I know I'm down 2. He's into the competition. I like win-win situations. That's why I've constructed this. Hey, here's a way for you to buy me dinner, Jake. Or I beat him, and I'll buy him dinner. That's fine. I think it makes it more enjoyable for him to, and I think a lot of people are wired that way, that, like my younger son's that way, Cooper. He's gonna race you to the car. He's gonna, if we're picking up trash, he's gonna pick up more trash than you. It's a competitive mindset, and I want a win-win situation, not a mutually exclusive you won, I lost, or vice versa. We'll find that today with Jake. What are you getting them on?
What's up?
What are you getting them on?
Oh, a jackhammer.
Okay, what color?
It's white. I think it's a new color, but I mean
Is it the one with the gold blade?
No, it's got the silver blade, but it's got, I think it's the blueback herring color. I
Yeah.
don't think it matters. It's mostly white.
I did good the other day with the white one with the gold blade and a little bit of like a bait scale pattern at the top.
Dirty white.
Dirty white.
Yeah.
That's it. It's a good color. I left Jake out in the islands, and I got the Helicross there on a black jackhammer. This one's only 3/8 ounce, but I've moved to this shoreline, and I'm gonna do multiple short, close range casts, mostly because the super long casts that I love making with this reel, it don't make sense because there's so much grass. In short cast, you know, I get more cast in that strike zone right up along this bank, and I clear that grass off quicker, and I think it's gonna work. I think they're up against this bank, and I don't believe that there's an advantage of staying out further at all. Like, you know, it's muddy, so they're not going to see you coming. So, how long have you been watching the channel? If you've been watching a very long time, especially if you have some of my original DVDs, especially the fall River Smallmouth DVD, you know what that is. You also know that they're discontinued, but somebody out there has the mold. My buddy Jed had said, "Oh, I found them. They're selling them on eBay. Really high resistance in the water. Kind of a slow-moving thing. 2 big blades that clang together. This really does give them a chance to locate it and eat it." So I'm gonna put the jackhammer away for a little bit. I just haven't got bit on it. I know Jake's catching them on it, and I just feel like they need something, dare I say, more than the jackhammer to locate it. The Pro Assassinator Clacker is definitely more than the jackhammer. I know a lot of people that just causes all levels of cognitive dissonance, but you're not bringing this in fast, but it is causing quite a bit of disturbance. This one's black and red flake, and it is for sure the circus coming to town. It's a lot of noise. A lot of flash. Not that it matters much in this water. And big fish is going to want it. Big fish is not going to shy away from eating this big meal. What did I say? There's a big fish. Keep you buttoned. Oh, he's off. That was 20. God! Alright, I got something. I can't believe that got off. Alright, got something working though. For what it's worth, that's where that big fish came from. And yes, he was 20-inch range fish. This little bit of grass at the head of the island is right there. Let's just do a drive-by real quick from the upstream side so you can see. I feel like it's kind of rings hollow to show you where, you know, a big fish was that I didn't catch, but you know, look at all the wood hung up there. He wasn't in that stuff, but you got this little remaining of, you know, amount of salvia is that purple flower that's right in there. He was right on the back side of that. I may chuck it at it one more time, see if he had a buddy in there. But yeah, a little bit of an eddy on the backstream side of that. That's where he was. All right, there. Let's keep you buttoned. Let's keep you on. All right. Oh. Got one. Got you. Finally got one. Oh. Rest. Figure out what you are. Alright. Decent fish. We'll go ahead and get this guy on the board. And while Jake has a limit, I have a 16 1/4 incher. Yeah, it's a good start, and you know, I do have faith in this clacker spinnerbait, and they can just find it. See you guys, they find it in that water, and you know, the big blades smacking into each other, and it makes a ruckus. A ruckus. Is that an old person word? I will be 49 years old in a few days. Ruckus. Okay. I might stay here a minute or two. Yep, that one's bigger. That's a great fish. Keep working it. 16 1/4. Wet the board again. And nope, I'm not. He's gone. But he was 18 1/2. So the whole time, you know, I've been in just screaming fast current with a couple shoreline eddies. This is the first, you know, in this river coming up, this complex of like big areas of grass that's sticking out, and it really makes, I mean, a lot of this is calm water. There's current coming through here, but eddy. This is a massive eddy. It's where I got the 16 1/4. 18 1/2 was over here. They're in here, and there's more fish than what I've caught, so I'm going to spend some time. More eddies there I haven't explored. You move up into this grass bed complex, and there's eddies further up that I haven't touched, and current seams on that leading edge of it. There's a lot here to work, but I did want to show basically that, hey, this is the first time I found a big area of grass bed caused still water. That's where I'm at. I mean, look at all this expansive. It's not deep, and I can see grass submerged there, but it's a lot more behind me that I didn't touch. So got some more work here to do. I looked at the map, and we're a quarter of the way there up to Sally's Landing. Time-wise, we're not making real good time, but I have 47% of that first battery. So battery-wise, we're doing okay. Not doing great, but we can still complete this. The tough part is we're gonna need to pick up the pace. I'm gonna give Jake a call, give him a little bit of whatever that pattern is. Might help him where he's at. Yo!
What up, buddy?
So yeah, those were the first two I landed. It was the same black spinnerbait that I lost at 20 plus. Basically, I found a huge area where it was shallow and there was submerged grass, and it was enough to stop the current completely in a big area. It was a big wide area, and both of the fish, like I caught them one right after another, and they were in the channels through those big submerged grass beds. I didn't know it at the time. It took fan casting through there to figure out that, okay, that's what's going on. But like, you really, unless you're close to that grass bed, you're not gonna see it. Like, I'm moving up on some that I can totally see out of the water that are obvious. This one there were just the tips of the grass sticking out, and I saw a disturbance, and then it wasn't until I got close, I'm like, that's a lot of foam downstream from there just sitting still. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting in dead calm pockets, but I got a 15 and 16 inch fit, and then I got that bigger 19, but the bigger 19 came in like a micro eddy
that's where that 20 I missed was pretty small, tight little eddy.
Yeah, at the front side, like it was front side of a big island.
Yep, but an isolated grass patch just up from there.
Yeah.
Yep, same thing. All right, I'm pulling up to another area I want to work. I just wanted to give you my pattern update, and hopefully it confirms or adds to what you've got.
It does. What are you thinking about battery levels, man?
I think we can still do it. We just need to keep moving upstream. Time's a bigger constraint.
Okay.
Yeah, but if we get close and we're like, it isn't working, whatever, we turn around and come back. I think that the whole B to A thing works better at lower levels. I wasn't anticipating this much flow.
There's a good bit of flow right now.
Yeah, it's cooking. It's moving. So, all right, I'm gonna hang up and keep casting, buddy.
See you, buddy.
All right. Yeah, you always want to, if you're fishing with a buddy and he's not right in front of you, you definitely want to call him. Actually, it's illegal in tournaments now. You can't share pattern information with, I just put that right on that tree. You can't call people and say, hey, this is what's happening, or this is where I'm at. But it's one of the things I like about just fun fishing is that there's no limitations. Jake was saying he didn't think that put in would be legal in a tournament. I don't care. I just want to use it. I want to fish. Oh, what a jump. Oh, what a jump. What a crazy jump. Whoa, he's doing some cool stuff. cool if you got in my net. Big boy. Oh, big boy. Stay hooked, big boy. Good. Gotcha. All right, you deserve to breathe. This one actually hit and came off. And then look at that lane of, okay, fine. I'll take your measurement and put you back. There's a really nice lane of water coming down through there. Nice foam bubbles. All right, 16 incher. I gotta let him go. And, oh, get out of the way of this big old log jam. But, you know, this complex of grass behind me is exactly what I needed. Before I get back to fishing this area, I'll point out where I got that 16, and then you're gonna look at the rest of the complex. I can tell you when I came over this way on the other side of that island, I spooked fish in shallow water, and I actually had one come up and hit the bottom of the kayak. So I may loop around and hit that again, even though I've spooked them. But yeah, I mean, head of an island, kind of low grass out there. A lot of dead calm water here. He was actually up in this area here. But yeah, big areas of calm, current-free water with like some chutes coming through here and here. And the rest of the river, if you look at it in the distance, is just moving. This area is not. So they're taking refuge in this calm water area behind the grass. So we got a narrow little pinch and a little trickle of water coming in at the top. You can see the foam lane coming right down there. He was in there. Yeah, I just got bit again. There are other fish in this lane of foam. Right at the boat. This fish be my limit in my tournament against Jake. He's not a giant, but it's the fish. All right, yay, I got 5 fish. Shoot. Oh, hello. Oh, another good one. Keep you on. Great eat spot for sure. Get you, keep you buttoned. You're an upgrade if I can get you. We're going to take a closer look at why this is such an amazing eat spot. All right. Where do you think this one goes? I bet you close to 18, maybe I think you're over 18. You're certainly worth wetting the board for. 'Cause man, that was some good jumping you did there. Oh yeah, 18 and a half. 18 and a half. I'm gonna take my picture with you. I haven't taken a picture with any of you guys. You're pretty. Here we go. I know you won't be able to see it, but the other thing that's going on is all of this water slowing down allows some of the suspended particulate to fall out, and this is the cleanest water I've found. Some of it's being filtered by coming through all that grass, but more than anything, I think it's just, you know, it's slowing the current down so it doesn't keep the mud suspended. Cleaner water, clearer water. Same Eddie. Does he call a 13.75? I think so, if I can get him. All right. Beautiful fish, 16 3/4. Send her back in. Let's zoom up here. I'm glad I came back up. get that 16 3/4. We're gonna look at, you see this lane, see this foam trickling right down the center. Where's that coming from? It's coming through the woods. The river's coming up. This is washing out all manner, I mean, I don't see the other end of it. It's trickling through the center of this island somehow, and it's dumping out right here, and these fish are right in this lane. If you go up this way, there's some flow coming through, decent flow. It combines with this flow. This is where they've all been. So as I'm moving upstream, I'm really not fishing everything as I come to it, but when I do have opportunities like this, which is, you know, big ledge eddy out in the middle with some still water, it's worth taking a couple shots. Although in this set of conditions, I don't think it's as high value as the grass bed caused eddies, because the grass bed eddies really, I think they filter, I think they knock some of the sediment out, and you just have better water clarity behind the grass caused eddies. I am going to take a couple shots though at this ledge eddy as I go past. Like it's too good not to. Oh, come on. This current seam at the end of the island there. Going to be an upgrade? I don't know. Probably not. No disrespect. I think you're just a stout, short fish. Get out of the current. Get out of the current. Oh, get out of my prop. Okay. That was an alpha spot for you to be. All the way at the top of this. Yeah, you're big. Don't jump. Don't jump. Listen to that drag on that hundo. Love the audible drag. Oh, are you kidding? Fighting good. You're not an upgrade. Nope, you're not. You're a nice fish, though. All right, let's have you not get off, please. You're trying. All right, you see him way up there. Oh, yeah. It feels good. Mad. Good fish. Good fish. Yeah, we got some size. Oh. That fish has weight. Oh, it's got some staying power. Yep, good. All right. Definitely more than 16. So we're going to put them on the board. Not let you squirt away. Let's see, 17 3/4. That's cool. All right, 17 3/4 in the bushes. Thank you. Just hopping from eddy to eddy, big ones. That one pulled a little bit. I got branches or something caught in my prop. I can hear it going tick, 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 tick. So I'm catching up, and time to grab a bite to eat. I just grabbed these. We grow it at the farm just for our family's use, and has its own packaging, keeps it clean, and you don't have to cook this stuff. It's. I mean, you cook an apple every time you eat it, an orange, tomato. Why do you have to cook this? You know. Man, it's delicious. Oh, I got one on this side. Ooh, good one. Okay. So I'm beneath this creek here. We fished it in the spring, and it was loaded with good fish. I know they spawn in this area. But sometimes when they spawn in an area, if there's food and the right conditions, they'll stay there. This one has to call 16.75. The other thing that the creek is doing is giving us cleaner water. We're immediately downstream from it, and oh nice, 17 1/4. You can see the creek up there. Maybe there's some other good fish like this 17 1/4. See you guy. I'll work up this bank and hopefully get some more culls going. I feel good about this area because I got about 2 foot of visibility downstream from the creek. And oh, there, I got jammed right there. That's where I got the 17, and I may have to throw some craws just to follow up in there. Yep. Okay. Oh, that's a good fish. And it came from throwing a crankbait. And I'm doing something a little different with this crankbait than I've ever done with any crankbait. And I think it's going to help me land more of them. God, I really want to get him away from the rest of those fish. Loosen the drag. Pull him away. I'm being somewhat cavalier here with how I'm fighting this fish, and I'll tell you why in a second. It's kind of an interesting concept, and it's based on the sergeant. Oh yeah, that's a good fish. This is interesting. Yep, that's a big tail. The sergeant is a lipless crankbait. Yep, that's a good fish. Lipless crankbait that has, this is my biggest of the day. All right, Thunderhawk lures, Sergeant. If you watch the videos that I do, you'll know that I got some stuff at iCast, and I went and reviewed it. And the lipless crankbait that I really like has spinny hooks. And because I talked with, look at that fish. Look at that big fat fish that I just caught. I'm going to measure this, and then I'm going to talk about spinny hooks. All right,
fish.
All right, we'll get a measurement, and I'm going to show you this crankbait. It's really not so much the crankbait, it's the crankbait you've seen a bunch of times. One of the few remaining live target crayfish crankbaits. But the hook I have on it is interesting. Yep, that's a 19-incher. You 19 and a quarter? No. But you are 19. And that upgrades 16.25. So I'm happy to catch that, and I'm going to show you what I caught it on here in a second after I take a quick pick. Alright. 19-incher on a crankbait. See you, guy. We'll get you well below your friends here. See you, guy. Yep. Alright, so the crankbait is a live target that I have one hook on. And that fish stayed on really well. It's got a spinny hook. See that? See how I'm spinning this? So their ability to spin is so important. Also, once I had the fish hooked, I was pretty confident I was going to land them, which really feels good to not have that anxiety of, am I going to land this crankbait fish, which is always the case. The lipless crankbait, the Sergeant, the spinny part was in the body of that crankbait, right? I talked about it at the Hobie Bass Open Series with Bill Durberaw, and he pointed me in the direction of these quad hooks. They are spinny. They got a swivel right in the shank, and man, that was pretty amazing to catch that 19-incher on just a concept, right? Take a crankbait, take the 2 treble hooks off, and put 1 spinny hook on there. Man, that did really well. I'm pleased. Okay. Yep. Oh, that's another one on the crankbait. That second jump, if it was regular hooks, would have totally gotten off. I'm not home free, but like, golly. I feel pretty good about this setup. I think it's doing some good things for me. All right, stay on. Stay on. I don't know how many of these hooks I have in them. I mean, there is only one, but it's got 4 points. Come on. Come to the surface. Come on, let me scoop you. Gotcha. Gotcha. You're big. You're another upgrade. Good, good, good. I'm starting to not be quite as upset about that. Clearly a 20 that I lost this morning on the spinnerbait. Getting some good ones. Alright, let's see. What does he have to call to matter? So I can race towards me buying dinner. I still think Jake's gonna buy me dinner. I think he's at 92.25. He just texted me. I'm gonna text him back a picture of this one. Alright. I think they're turning on. So this calls a 17.25 incher. Alright. Because clearly you are bigger than 17.25. Let's see how much bigger. It's a nice fish. At least 18. Yep. He's 18 3/4. Is he 19? Nope. 18 3/4 is good though. That helps. But I gotta let him flush out somewhere else. I don't need him with his buddies. Crankbait doing work. I think I'm giving up on the reaching B, or reaching A from B, the upstream, and I've come most of the way. I think I'm probably about 3 miles, and I still have 76%. I could probably get up there, but I don't know. Jake already reached up there. It's 3:30, and he, I talked to him a moment ago, and he got up there. But I think we've accomplished what we wanted to, which is to have a mostly upstream movement day. Keep moving up and come up from behind them. I think it matters far less with this muddy water than it would, in clearer conditions. We've been thinking about doing this for a while, and it's just been, I don't know, we haven't done it yet. Today's the day we picked to do it. Don't think the conditions totally make sense for doing it in these conditions. But I think we're learning the process and learning, what's reasonable. I think in this amount of flow, I'm gonna put a jig in that. In this amount of flow, I don't think it totally makes sense. Yeah, I'm putting my anchor down and I'm putting my jig right in that mess. We don't necessarily need to do all that distance upstream to catch them. What we did need was areas that have better water clarity, and I'm getting it here with this creek mouth. We got it out in the middle with the grass beds, and just in general, the middle lane of the river has been good to us. The west shore, the east shore, that's where most of the mud from the tributaries has created a lane. I'm gonna put some scent on there, and had a good day. By the way, I'm half an inch behind him on the total. I think he said he was at 93 and I'm at 92 and a half. So we're both having a good day. On the jackhammer. Oh, I don't know that you're 17.75 or better. Oh, you're a good fish. You gotta call 17.75. Maybe. Nope, I don't think so. Alright. You might be a call. You jumped twice for me real good. Get in there. No, you're no call. So Jake continues to pull away. I'm at 92.5. I think he's closer to 94. I'd have to have a pretty big cull at this point to catch him. 17.75 is my smallest, smallest of 5, but I need to start heading back. And you definitely want to watch Jake's. You want to watch Jake's channel. He's a really good stick, especially on this river. You're going to learn something from him. I've learned something that worked out for me real well recently. I got some big fish on the shower blow is what the bait is called. It's a topwater plug. Would never tried it if it wasn't for Jake and his videos. Get you in the net. All right, so for sure, most of my fish came on this jackhammer, which with the 7-inch scented jerk shad. I've asked Jake ahead of us meeting to really cut off the baits that he was catching fish on. Yeah, you are. How big are you? You're 18 and a half. No, you're not. You're 18. God, you're close to 18 and a half. All right, 18.25 on that grass bed. You know, I've asked if we can do sort of a wrap up looking at the different lures that we've used to catch fish. And we're going to do that as we eat dinner. Probably going to go to Burger King and have some Whoppers. So I'm going to update my total. I know he said he's, where is he at? 93.75. So that just gave me half an inch. We'll see. Haven't seen you yet. Yeah, you're decent. You're not gonna help though. You can jump off if you want. Oh. That's a big one. That's a big one. Oh, gosh. Big boy. It's a really heavy fish. I don't know that it calls it 18.25. That's a really awesome day when, you know, you look at a fish like this and say, no, that may not cull. Yep. Oh, shoot. I didn't notice. Close your mouth. Yep, you're there. 18 3/4. Just heavy. Let me get you in the net. Oh. Alright. I got a tree coming up. Alright, that needs not wander. Get in here. Swept in the net. You recording me recording?
I'm recording you, recording me.
Okay. That's funny. All right, we're here at Burger King, and Jake, who bought all this food?
I did.
So you won.
I did.
You got 95.
Yep.
At least close the gap. You got 94. These are phenomenal numbers. These are numbers that we saw quite a bit in 2013, 2014. It was actually starting to get a little bit better than this. And 2015 and 16 were just incredible. 2015 is when Jed and I did the river bass and you know set the record for that series, and when I caught my personal best. I caught it on not this color, so I got a little bit of, and I brought all three.
Show and tell here.
It is. So this, here, I'll show it to yours. This is the Assassinator clacker spinnerbait. If I'd have landed the fish that hit this morning, I think I would have won. It was a 20, which would have upgraded 18 and a half. Yeah. Using this in super muddy water, the black one. Now the 610, my personal best from 2015, hit a white one of these with a big swim bait trailer on it. But it's the same, you know, the same frame. It's really the same bait in different color. But this was this was a good bait in that muddy water. It took me a while to realize, though, that, you know, even with this cranked up presentation, you know, in terms of something that really gets loud and moves a lot of water, wasn't as good as where you were in the middle of the river. You found cleaner water. I think you found the grass bed thing first.
I did. I was catching, I mean, from the jump, I was catching. I think the first fish I landed was a small one.
I went 3.5 hours without a fish.
Yeah.
And like, lost that one in the midst of that.
But, I mean, I was fishing those mid-river grass islands.
Yep.
And I was catching them all over. And, you know, it did seem like there was, I don't want to say it was clear, because it wasn't. It was nowhere even
It
close.
was cleaner.
It was cleaner water.
That middle lane.
And you could see closer to the grass. It was like darker where the water wasn't, you know, that like
Hadn't flushed out with
Yeah.
the mud. Yep.
so. And they were tight. They were super tight.
Before we get into this, you do show and tell. Where are your baits?
Mine are easy.
Yours are easy. Jackhammer, and jackhammer?
Got a mouthful of burger.
Okay, then I'll let him finish.
No, I'm good.
You're good?
Yeah.
All right.
No, I'm not joking. It's just he made me chew so fast I choked. So I started off with a 3/8 ounce white. It's a new color. I think it's like their blueback herring color.
Yeah.
But 3/8 ounce, and I was throwing that, and I was catching fish, but it was something didn't feel quite right about it, and it was probably the weight, because once I cranked up to a 1/2 ounce with
Do you
black,
think the heavier ones are make a louder noise?
I don't think they make a louder noise, but I was able to work this one slower.
Okay.
I could not work this one slow at all. 3/8 ounce was getting blown out of the eddy.
Yeah.
This one, I could pop it in the eddy and you know, pop the rod tip a couple times and still be in the strike zone. So this was what I caught more of my better fish on this early.
Yeah.
But when I got above the falls
Yep.
and I moved over to the east bank or west bank, the water was cleaner and the flow wasn't as heavy. So I
That
bumped,
West Branch water is cleaner.
so I bumped back down to a 3/8 ounce because it wasn't flowing as heavy. And I went with a more natural presentation, a green pumpkin. It's got a green pumpkin, black and blue flake trailer, Z-Man razor shad on it.
Yeah.
And this is, I mean, I caught more fish on this in the latter part of our trip
So
than I did all day long.
the afternoon bite was just on, and I did well. Most of my fish came on this, which is the dirty white.
Dirty white?
Dirty white, and it's got the gold blade, and it's missing some paint now. And the 7-inch scented jerk shad, which is all jacked up and like not on there straight. I've caught so many fish on it. You know, again, similar to this, that it moves a lot of water and it makes a noise. These clanging together makes noise. This head makes noise. So that was good. You know, behind every grass little trickle through I found. But the thing I'm really excited about, and this was an experimental thing. You know, this crankbait is one of my rehab ones, the live target. But give that thing a spin, man. Just kind of like show that thing is spinning. That 19-inch smallmouth did that with this bait in the air. And I knew immediately I would not have caught that fish without that hook. So I'm excited. I'm excited about, you know, the Bill showed me these down in the New River event, the Hobie BOS, because I was talking about that Thunderhawk Sergeant, the lipless crankbait that has it's really this part spins that where you put the You put the split ring on there. That is
build
the
it
part
in-
that
They
spins.
build it into
Yes.
the crankbait versus into the hook.
Yeah. This hook, on the other hand, is man. I mean, he jumped,
What did I
and
say?
the fish spun, and then this stayed the same, and it was just like I knew I wouldn't have caught that fish.
When you were getting off the water, what did I say to you today? About people fishing this river for these smallmouth. What's the one thing that they should do?
Upgrade their treble hooks.
I mean, I don't want to be rude, but you're stupid if you don't upgrade your treble hooks when you're fishing for these smallmouth.
You're not just talking about these. You're talking about just in general, just sharper, better hooks.
Almost every single bait that I crankbait, topwater,
Yeah.
I upgrade every treble hook.
Sure, that sharpness and in you know keeping a fresh shit on there, but like this is different, and it worked.
Yeah, no,
So I'm
that's a whole nother level.
super happy that I mean I get excited when I figure out something new, and this is something new. So and I'm glad I got to do it on a day.
We rocked them today, man.
Yeah.
I think my best 5 was a 19 and a half and 3 more 19s and an 18 and a half.
Yeah. Mine was, what was the last one I told you? A 19, 2 18.75s and 2 18 and a halves.
But next time,
And that's an inch difference.
next time though, we need to change it so the loser buys.
No.
I mean, I guess I do have a.
I'll just beat you and buy you dinner. How's that sound?
Easier said than done, sir.
No doubt. Seriously, watch his episode on this. You got my half. Go watch Jake's half. Thanks for watching. See you.